Well, welcome back, everybody, to the Raider roster report. This is Raider Sparks. Thought I'd come on today and talk a little bit about some of the draft prospects I think might be available in the first round and kind of my favorites so far. Way too early. No senior balls. No interviews yet. No combine, nothing like that's been done. So this is an early projection, but there's definitely some players out there I like. And I just kind of wanted to get into who I thought would be great fits, who's unique athletes, that type of thing, and that might possibly be there for the Raiders. Obviously, we don't know where we're picking. Hopefully, we're picking 32nd. This is a big weekend for the Raiders, and Mike Mayock and Coach B and the whole organization. Good luck on Saturday. But today I thought we'd take a little break from talking playoffs and kind of take a look at maybe a way too early projection for first round talent that we might be targeting here for the Raiders coming up for the next season. Definitely I wanted to address some of the rumors going around about Mike Mayock. I really hope that Mr. Davis continues to keep Mike Mayock as a general manager for the Raiders. I think I made a video about it of case to keep Mike Mayock, and if you haven't checked it out, please do. Oh, by the way, please hit like, subscribe to the channel if you like it, share it, comment, definitely comment. Please, I'd like to hear your thoughts about everything going on with the Raiders, coaching staff, GM, about the upcoming game and prospects coming up for the Raiders in the draft. All kinds of exciting stuff happening, but definitely love to hear your comments. But please share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. But anyways, I definitely hope we keep the consistency with Mayock and go forward from there. I just don't want to have a complete rebuild. I think this team is on the cusp of doing something really well. We jumped a hurdle this year and got into the playoffs. Now let's keep building on it. Let's not break anything down. So hopefully that happens, but we'll get into that a little bit more when the season is over, which hopefully is after the Super Bowl. But anyways, wanted to get into the first player. Really what I was looking for with players for the Raiders, one, is just unique talent, and two, how they fit on the Raiders and that type of thing. So I'll just kind of get into my first guy is DeMarvin Leal out of Texas A&M. If wherever we end up drafting in the first round, I think if he was still on the board, I think we should pick him. Definitely, 1A, 1B. The next guy, Trayvon Walker. It'll kind of come down to the combine for these guys. But DeMarvin Leal plays defensive tackle and edge for Texas A&M. He's a junior, so he's young, 6'4", 290. So incredible athlete. He's able to play defensive end at 290, which is tremendous. Draft Network has him going at 12, PFM at 6, PFF at 37, and then Consensus Big Board has him at 18. So he's kind of all over. PFF's grade kind of definitely lowered him on the Consensus board. And some of that, comps, as I heard Jerry Tillery. The first time I turned on to Marvin Leal's, highlights, that type of thing, the first thing that jumped in my head was Chris Jones. He is long, lengthy. He was playing all over the line. And just first impression, I'm not saying he's Chris Jones, but, man, if he is, we need to take him. And physically, he has the ability to be that. So that's the kind of guy you want to take a chance at. Just tremendous athletic upside. And, his stats are really good, too, and they kept going up. So this past season, 27 solo tackles, 58 total, 12.5 tackles for loss, 8.5 sacks. Again, played all up and down the line. He's got length, athleticism, rare speed to power, and just incredible. I think the reason why I heard different things on the draft board shows why he's dropping, and they say it was a conditioning issue. They thought it's kind of hard to determine if it's a conditioning issue. He plays some offenses. There's like air raid offenses. He's on the field the whole time, so it's not a typical NFL game where they're not always in hurry up and going as fast as possible. But some of these offenses they play, so it makes it look like it on film. So I really wish. I'm glad he's a junior. He's still young, but it would be great to see this guy in a Senior Bowl to see how he stacked up against the other competition. But I think if he tests out well at the combine, yeah, for me, if his play strength, if he's in that Chris Jones bench rest rep, but Chris Jones did 26 reps. If he's in that range, I mean, I don't expect to be Aaron Donald at 35 reps, but if he's got that strength with that speed and power, this is the type of guy you take a shot at because we definitely need help on the defensive line. And the reason why I picked him, there's so many edge guys in this class, but the reason why I think DeMarvin Leal, the next guy I get to, is Trayvon Walker, are unique is because they can play defensive tackle first. They have the body type to do it. They can play that 3 technique, I think, tremendously in the NFL. But they could also go out to edge. So instead of us having an edge guy like Cleveland Farrell to kick inside and be too small to actually affect the quarterback, although Clee does okay, he's not a great end, but this guy at the end, we could put him at 3 tech, and then on true rundowns, put him on the outside for Yannick or Max to be even stronger as a run defense. So, and still have that pass rush capability, which Clee doesn't really give us from the outside so much. So he could be our starting 3 tech. And again, we don't know who's coming back as our 3 tech. They're all in like 1-year deals. I know Clee has a 1 year left, and most of the other guys, Solomon Thomas, all these other guys are expiring contracts. So, so we need that there. So to me, DeMarvin Leal, if he's on the board, wherever we pick, would be the guy to take. Unless Trayvon Walker beats him out at the combine. The reason I put Trayvon Walker on here, he's an edge mainly, but he plays interior defensive line for Georgia. He's a junior, 6'5", 275. But last year he played at 290. So with his frame, he can play at 290. I think no problem. Frame athleticism is really good. We got to see him in the national championship game. It's hard to tell with Georgia's front is so good. Who's the best player and who should be taken in the first round, second round, whatever, or what your flavor is there. But his athletic upside is tremendous. He has the gifts I just talked about, and why I think it's important for the Raiders to get a 3 tech that can go out to the outside, not vice versa. An edge to go in and play 3 tech. I want a true 3 tech player that can jump to the outside and kind of go up and down the line and help us with the run game. But Trayvon Walker is a tremendous athlete. Draft Network has him at 19 right now. PFN has him at 35. PFF at 65, so they're not high on him. Consensus Big Board has him at 28. I think he's going to be a riser in this draft even more, especially after the combine. Last year, he had 19 solo tackles, 37 total, which is down because they rotate a lot at Georgia. There's so much talent on that line. People, it's tough to get huge stats, but he had 6 sacks. So it was incredible. My concern, again, is the play strength. Does he have the play strength to play inside as a 3 tech? I think he does. And again, it comes down to the combine, see what he does on the bench press, see how many reps he gets, that type of thing. And then if he can get back up to that 290, 300 level, which I'm sure he can because he did it last year. He dropped weight because they wanted to play more end this year. But all you have to do really is take a look at the national championship game. During the game, there was just a Alabama Hall, the receiver, caught a shallow crossing route, and Walker is playing D-tackle, lined up the D-tackle spot, ran 30 yards down the field, and tracked him down. Like, it wasn't like he was making moves or doing, like, getting hit. No, he was just running, and he literally ran and caught him down. A man that size should not be that athletic, and so for that reason, that's the type of athlete you draft in the first round. And for me, if he's there, the Marvin Leal's there, either one of these guys, see how their play strength tests out. But I would be comfortable taking them and making them my 3 tech. And again, being able to provide that edge defender when it's true running downs, allow us to get a better edge defender out there or give Yannick a break or Max a break, that type of thing, and still have a pass rush. So two tremendous players. The next guy I have is Treylyn Burks. Sorry, I don't have his picture on here. But anyways, receiver out of Arkansas, tremendous player. He's a junior. And again, unique. 6'3", 225, but just a bully. He can do it all. He's faster than everybody says. The first time I put on his highlights, I thought DJ Metcalf. He's not that fast, but he's a bully in the SEC. tremendous players. Last year, 66 receptions, 1,100 passing yards, 16.7 average, 11 touchdowns. He had long of 91. I mean, this guy would be incredible in the silver and black. Draft Network has him at 29, PFN 27, PFF 26. Consensus Big Board has him at 21. For me, with the Raiders, it's going to come down to free agency, the type of receiver that they get. But with Treylon, it doesn't really matter what type of receiver they get because he can do everything. He can high point, he can go deep, you can throw him the ball behind the line of scrimmage, he can take it to the house, he can run anywhere on the field. And with his body type, his speed, athleticism, I mean, it really doesn't matter the free agent receiver that we get. He can do it all, so I put him there. Some other guys that are being talked about is Drake London, but he's more of a high point guy, an X receiver. So if we did get a speed guy, I would be fine with him, except there's injury concerns there. I don't know how he's going to come back from the injury. Jahan Dotson's a speed guy out of Penn State that could possibly be there as well. But for my money, Treylyn Burks does it all. Some of the other top receivers, Wilson, Olave, obviously Williams got hurt. All those guys, I think, will be drafted before we're eligible. So I think Treylon, we might have a good shot at that. The next guy that I think is a very unique player and would fit in our scheme is Ahmad Sauce Gardner with Cincinnati. I think he's proven himself over the course of his 3-year career that he is a tremendous cornerback. He's a junior, 6'2", 188. I'd like to see him get bigger. I think he's up to 200. I'm not sure. But I'd like to see him get to that 200 mark just because we ask our cornerbacks to tackle so much. And if you watch Face On It, having Face On It over Mullen in the game, our run defense is so much better because in the cover 3 or off-man coverage that we run, the way to attack that is to run to the edges and attack the cornerbacks. And with Max and Yannick on our edges, we don't have the strongest run edge defenders. So our cornerbacks are really asked to do a lot. I think that's why Mullen gets hurt a lot, is because we ask him to do that in the run game. And physically, that's just not his game. But I think Sauce can handle the run game. But more importantly, his coverage. He's a tremendous cover guy. I think with his speed is a concern. I think that's why he's kind of all over the place on draft boards, like a 4 or 5. I think he's more fit for our system if we continue with the cover 3, the off-man coverage. He can come up and press when we need him to, but stay in that coverage with that length, the football IQ, the ball skills he has, I think it'd be perfect for our system. I think so. He had 28 solo tackles last year, 40 total, so he tackles. 3 sacks, so he can get after the quarterback. We do, it'd be great if we could have our guys from the edges start rushing more, and he can do it. 3 interceptions. He has 9 career interceptions, 18 career pass breakups in 3-year career. And the main thing, he's never allowed a touchdown, so he's proven himself on the field and against great competition. Against Williams at Alabama, he was mirroring him like no problem at all, and he was going to be early round, first round selection before he got hurt. So I mean, if you just want to take a look at his body of work, it's really good. Draft Network 39, PFN 25, PFF has him graded really high at 13, and the consensus Big Boy has him at 13 as well. So I'm not sure if the other networks just haven't caught up or if they're just concerned with his speed and athleticism. I think they might prioritize speed and quarterbacks rather than length and the overall career here. So, but I really like Sauce Gardner. If he's there, if Marvin Leo and Walker and Treylon weren't there, I would definitely take Sauce Gardner. And there's a ton of cornerbacks. And the cornerback, for me, it's just going to come down to, like the first 3 guys I listed, I don't think it matters who the coach is or defense or offensive coordinator or style of play or anything. They're just unique talents. But I do think the cornerback position will come down to the type of defense we run, if it's going to be off-mass and cover 3, whatever, if it's going to be press. That'll really determine if we do take a cornerback and who it is. I mean, guys that are out there that, like Andrew Booth out of Clemson, is really climbing. Derek Stingley obviously is the guy that's been talked about the most as the number 1 corner, but he's got injury concerns. But Andrew Booth is a guy that's been talked about a lot. Roger McCreary has been talked about a lot. Kier Elo, who I think might be a great fit if we do cover 3s. the 6'2", 193. He can tackle, and PFN has him at 9. Draft note with 24. PFF 15, and consensus is 25. So we stay in the cover 3. The Gus Bradley theme. He might be the guy to take. Trent McDuffie, and then Martin Emerson, I think, out of Mississippi State is a riser as well. And I'll do a round 2, which he'll definitely be in the round 2 because I think that's more likely where he'll go. But he's kind of rising up boards right now. It's somebody to kind of keep an eye on because he'd be good with the off man, the cover 3 stuff that we run as well. So that's kind of a list of some of the guys. And the one good thing is Roger McQuarrie. He'll be at the Senior Bowl, so we can be able to take a look at him. He's one of the few seniors that I have on my list here. So somebody to keep an eye on. Definitely battle tested there at Auburn. Just don't know if he's the right guy, but it would be great to see him in coverage, that type of thing. So the next guy that if these 4 other guys are gone, the next guy I think makes a lot of sense for the Raiders would be Kenyon Green. Plays tackle, plays guard, plays at a high level, 6'4", 325 out of Texas A&M. He's a junior. Draft Network has him at 6. PFM has it at 9, but PFS has him at 20, and the consensus has him at 20. So I'm not sure if he slides all the way to us, but if he did, we should, if these other guys aren't there, take him. The reason I think he's the best fit for us is because, one, he's a tremendous talent. He's a fantastic run blocker. He's able to block in space as well. He's got length that we like. All of those things that Tom Cable's looking for. I believe he has all the concepts that we would want. And he would be a really good right tackle. The other reason I really like this pick for the Raiders is because I don't think we're done with the Leatherwood right tackle experiment. We drafted him in the first round for a reason. And I don't know that they've given up on him. So drafting Kenyon Green gives you the ability to get Leatherwood back to tackle if you want and put him at right guard and really create a side to run on. I mean, these two guys back-to-back to run. And either if you flip them, either way, if Kenyon plays the tackle and we keep Leatherwood at the guard, is fine. But to be able to run behind these two guys that can block in space, they have the ability to pull, all of those things that Tom Cable would want to happen. And the play strength that Kenyon Green is tremendous. He plays with a little nastiness. He's not afraid to put a guy in the dirt. So if he's there, definitely would be a pick, and that's kind of why I think it would be a great fit as well for the Raiders. So yeah, that would be a terrific pick. The next is Devin Lloyd, and again, I mean, this guy, he's a do-it-all linebacker. He can play Mike, play Will. He might be best suited for Will, but we usually play with 2 linebackers anyway, so he can play Mike. We don't know if Perryman's coming back or not. Obviously, Devine has stepped up, but this guy, imagine Perryman at Mike, Devine or Devin Lloyd here at Will, and Devine put him at that star kind of roaming linebacker safety Abrams position. He can do it because obviously he was a safety in college, but Devin Lloyd's tremendous in coverage. 6'3", 235, side-to-side linebacker. Our linebacker room would look so good with him in it. 2021, 111 tackles, 66 solo tackles, 8 sacks. He can get after the quarterback, 4 INTs. I mean, if this guy is there, yeah, that we don't draft linebacker for some reason, but we should definitely draft him. Draft Network has him at 22, PFN 19, PFF 14, and the consensus big board has him at 16. So if he were to be there, I mean, yeah, our linebacker room would be looking so good if we brought Perryman back, him, and Devine, and maybe Morrow back. Oh, yeah, that would be tremendous. We have so much speed on the field, and just modern-day linebackers would be awesome. The other guy that you look at here is Nakobe Dean, who is obviously his stock has gone through the roof, especially after seeing he's a Butkus winner, but after seeing the national championship game and throughout the playoffs, tremendous play. I really like Nakobe Dean. Draft Network 28, PFM 23, PFF has him all the way up to 10. Consensus has him at 22. And the reason I bring Dean up right now is because I actually like him for that star role position, that Abrams position. So we moved off from Abrams and put Nakobe Dean on the field. The reason I say is he's 6 foot. He's a little lighter, like 225-ish. I think he would be so good at that role. The man had so many sacks. I mean, he gets after the quarterback, sideline to sideline speed. Play linebacker, would be tremendous at that Jonathan Abram role. I just don't know if he's going to be there after he's done so well at the national championship game. I don't know if we'd have a chance to get him. And the reason I bring him up now, and also I'll bring up a riser for linebacker, but also I like for the if we stay in the cover 3, that Abrams role as well. Brandon Smith out of Penn State, he's a riser. He's a draft network at 76, PFM 45, PFF 65, but consensus he's at 28. So he's right. The consensus has him in the first round just because he's possibly going to run like a 4.38 40. I mean, just at like 240 pounds. And after what Micah Parsons did, I mean, this is a guy to keep an eye on. So we'll watch him. But again, I'll do a second round, and we'll go from there. I should back up on Devin Lloyd. He'll be at the Senior Bowl, so we'll be able to see him in action, which will be tremendous. Also, Jahan Dotson, I forgot to mention, he'll be at the Senior Bowl too. He's one of the 4 that'll be at the Senior Bowls that talked about or we'll talk about today. But that kind of leads me into the next position, and it has to do a lot with Jaquan Brisker, but also what we do with Jonathan Abram. If he's back or if Tyree Gillespie's not the heir apparent for our strong safety, then this could be a reach. But Jaquan Brisker is a tremendous player out of Penn State. He was a senior, beat the Senior Bowl. Draft Network has him at 27, PFN 29, PFF 33, and consensus has him at 30. I think, I know he's the best tackler in the class at 6'1". They haven't listed at 200, but I also see reports that he's 210. So same concerns I have with Abram playing that star position, some semi-linebacker position that we have at 200 pounds. I think 210 is best, and I saw that he might have been playing at 210, so it's something to consider during the combine. But he had a 1.7% missed tackle rate, which is incredible. And so, yeah, that's what we need out of this guy. He can rush the passer. Just question his range. I just want to make sure he does have the coverage skills. I read up a little bit saying that he does, but also seen some stuff saying that he doesn't quite have the range to do it. So can't wait to see him at the Senior Bowl at the practices to see how he does with that, because we definitely don't want another Abram, a guy that in that position that can't cover. But man, he would be fantastic. Another guy to look at here would be Battle out of Alabama, who's a better coverage guy, but not as good of a tackler. So I think Battle, when I talk about all the things we have, is more second round stuff. But PFF has him in the first round, but everybody else has him in second. So I think I'll put him on when I do the second round possibilities for this position. But I think Jaquan Brisker would be a tremendous pickup for us if we decide Abrams isn't the guy and move on, or just want his next heir apparent type of thing. We could look there as well. So there's 7 guys that I think that if they're on the draft board when the Raiders draft in the first round, that would be tremendous pickups for us, and some good reasons why, not only because of their play, but how they would fit with the Raiders. So anyways, hopefully you liked the content here today. Hopefully you can give me a like, a subscribe, share the video, and definitely comment. I want to hear your thoughts on, again, obviously playoffs are coming up, like Mayock, our coaching search, but also the players I listed out here, and who are some of your favorites going into the draft, and kind of what you see, that type of thing. So anyways, great talking to you. Thanks for joining the Raider roster report today. This is Raider Sparks. Good luck to the Raiders Saturday. Looking for a big victory against the Bengals. I mean, if we do get that victory, man, we win a playoff game, that would be so. I mean, I can't wait. That game against the Chargers was so exciting. I'm sure the Bengals game is going to be just as good as well. So can't wait for Saturday. Anyways, that's it for today. You guys have a good day.